In this video, I will walk you through how to create all of these viral text effects for your video. It's a simple and easy process for everybody to learn. The first effect is by far the most popular and the easiest to do because it's simply 2 clicks. All you have to do is come over to the opacity once you clicked on your text. First click, second click, I lied, there's 3 clicks, and then you hit the difference. Now you're gonna get that kind of different negative effect that you see all over TikTok, like by Maximize and all these content creators using to psychologically trick you into watching their videos. The second effect we're gonna be creating is really easy too. It's this simple fade in with a blur that you see Tom Noske and all these viral, huge content creators make, and it's really simple to do. I want you to search up 2 effects. One's gonna be called Transform. So just grab the transform. Mine's just right here. I just drag and drop it, but yours will just say transform too. I have my own preset, I'll show you. And also grab a blur. So search up blur. I want you to grab the blur that's called Gaussian blur. Just drag that and drop it onto your layer. And you can see that mine is already added, but we're gonna be creating this. So for this, go to your Gaussian blur first, go to the beginning of your text, click on the stopwatch, click on that one, go a few frames forward, click again. So for my instance, I want about a second to just give you a rough estimate. And now I want you to go back to the first blurriness, and I want you to crank this to around 50 to 60. Not too much, but not too subtle. Now go into the opacity. So for me, I'm gonna go here, go to the opacity, kind of do the exact same thing. So first keyframe, then go a few frames forward, second keyframe. Make sure that your opacity comes in before your blur, your Gaussian blur. So you can see that when I zoom in here, that this bottom one, my opacity is before my Gaussian blur to the right. Now what I want you to do is go to the first one, click on the opacity, make sure it's at 0, go to the second one and crank this to 100. Now when you play it, it should give you this nice fade in with Gaussian blur. But if we want to make it even smoother, you can just highlight these, right click, hit ease in, and come over to the caret, drop it, and kind of just mess with these, make them a little better, and just look a lot easier to do. But if you don't want to do all this effect and do it every single time to just waste countless hours of your life and possibly even years for no apparent reason, we are going to be using my text and logo animations, which you can grab in the link in the description. Use the code TEXT to save $5 off. And what this essentially pack does is allows you to do not only these effects, so you could also grab the viral effect. When I search up this viral text effect, all I do is come over here, drag and drop it instead of coming up to my opacity and doing it every single time, which is a pain. And also you can get that exact same fade in that we use by just simply going to the text animations and coming to wherever it says fade in. So I have multiple of them, so you can get kind of just rough estimates and everything, plus just a lot better presets. All you do is you can just drag it, drop it, and you get this effect that we just created in a matter of seconds instead of taking a minute to 2 minutes creating it every single time. Now let's go on to this last effect that you see Tom Noske especially uses in about every single one of his videos, which is this really cool slide up effect. As I play this, you can see that slide up effect plus the Gaussian blur that we kind of just used. So all you have to do is just slide it up, bingo, just like that. And it's really easy again. You can see that I have all of mine, but again, I'm gonna show you how to do it from scratch. And all we have to do is once again, search up your transform effect. So for me, I'm gonna drag in the transform effect. Also blur again, so the Gaussian blur that we just talked about. And those are the 2 effects we wanna do, but we're gonna be using the opacity, the transform, and the Gaussian blur. So for the first one, kind of do the exact same thing where you fade it out with the Gaussian blur. So come over to the first effect, or first keyframe, make another one, go to the first one, crank it to about 60, so we get it about there. And make sure that when you're using this, use the vector, pull it down a little bit, because as we do this and create it, it's gonna move upwards. So just kind of get like a reference point. You can always move it with the vector motion, but make sure to be using the transform when you're creating this effect. Next, let's make that kind of motion that comes upwards. So make sure you're on the first one, click on the position, go to like, I would say faster than, so before the blur effect. So now make another one and move this upwards wherever you want it. So now mine, when I play this, it just moves up and down. And make sure when you come down here, yours will be checked with this at 0, but uncheck this box, crank it all the way up. So now you can get a motion blur when that pop effect happens. You'll see in a second. Now come over to the opacity, also click on the stopwatch and kind of make the exact same thing like we did in that fade earlier. Click again, go to the first one, go to 0, now the second one, and now we get this rough cut effect. You can kind of see it's pretty rough, but what we're gonna do is fix all that by just coming and highlighting this one, hit ease in, do the exact same for the other ones, hit temporal interpolation, ease in, and now you kind of get a better effect. That's a little better. We still want to have it pop and become better. So what you can do is come over to a position, click on these. If I zoom in for you guys, you can kind of see this. And what I like to do is make it pop right as it like kind of comes out. So I'm just gonna grab this left one and bring it up. So now when it comes in, it pops kind of. Or you can do the opposite effect if you don't like that and kind of just like have it already pop in like that. That actually looks, I would say, better. So now you can just do that and mess around with these. And if you want that flicker effect, you can come over to the opacity and just, as the second one is coming, then you can just go a few frames forward, click again, put this at 0, go a few frames forward and put it at 100, and then you get this like kind of really cool flicker effect. You see that? Like, watch, it just flickers once. But like I said again, if you don't want to do all this and waste countless hours, I got you, because all you have to do is go over to the text and logo animations, scroll down, and you will find the slide up with flicker and blur. Just slap that baby on. Now you get the exact same effect that we did, but just way better. And here's a bonus effect for you guys to get an automatically copy and paste hook exactly like this. This is the bonus effect we will be creating. It's a really cool kind of pop-up like you just learned, but instead there's sound effects that you can just easily copy and paste, and also it fades out like this. And this copy and paste hook is in my timeline pack, which allows you to simply just copy and paste hooks or entire edited timelines for you. So no need for ideation and just complete waste of time. So what I did is I came into my timeline pack. You can see that when I scroll through here, there is a bunch of 15 to 30 second already edited shorts for you. All you have to do is replace all of the text. You can kind of just zoom in, follow your own PNG is here. So click on that and it just does that. It also tells you where the transitions are, what the captions, where they need to be. Everything's already laid out for you. And simply, I went over to this one because this is one of my favorites. And I just looked at this, I liked it. I zoomed in, I went over here, copy it, came over here, went over here, paste it. It goes on your timeline. Obviously, I would zoom out, come over here, realign this like so, make sure to grab them, put them over here, put them where this is, and you get this exact effect. Now you just replace all of this text and you get something exactly like this. You can see how simple and fast, easy that was just to create a already laid out for you hook. It's that easy. And once again, use the code VIRAL to save $5 off your order. And by the way, if you're seeing this right now, that means that my buy one, get one free BOGO sale is on right now, which means if you went and got the timeline pack or logo pack, one of those packs that we just used will be completely free. And make sure to grab this as soon as possible because this sale ends on December 2nd and then it's gone. So I highly suggest you to take advantages as soon as possible. But if you're looking to create more effects just like this, click this video right over here.